and don't know shit.
Episode 23, time is just flying by. Got a whole bunch of episodes about to come up after a little 2-week break. It's good to get back into the swing of things here. And yeah, on today's episode, I got my buddy Dizzy. Dizzy, a bass playing phenom. He plays in Emile Bilodeau's band. He has a band also on the side called the Guidestones. Really cool. You got to check it out. And yeah, man. So don't forget, there's a link with this video posting for the Be a Producer program. Basically, any tip, whether it's 25 cents, 50 cents, $1, or 10, you become a producer of the next episode. And it's a way to directly support the show and keep things rolling and all that. And, you know, we don't use ads or anything like that. So why not just, directly get support and get credited for it at the same time. That being said, the producer of this episode is Mr. Martin Blais. Thank you a lot for your support, sir. It's much appreciated. And, well, let's just get it on. All right, here we go.
Boom! Came and don't know shit.
Yeah, man. How you doing, Dizzy?
Doing good, and you?
Doing great. I just smoked a big fatty, and I'm chilling out with you. I'm happy to see you.
Perfect. Fucking COVID chilling, man.
Exactly. I had to put my coat on though because it's cold down here in the basement. I wanted to chill out all comfy, I was listening to some records there right behind me there, right before.
Nice, man.
Yeah, man.
Sick.
So,
do you want me to put it like horizontal or like this is good?
This is all good, man. I don't worry about details. I worry about chilling out.
The priorities, man.
Well, exactly. And speaking of priorities, one of the priorities in life is low end in the music. That is a priority.
Pretty much.
Now, you are a wicked bass player. I've seen you play lots of times with all kinds of people because, you've been playing backup to all kinds of people, right? Basically as gigs. But now you have two main things going on. And the Guidestones band, this is pretty new, right?
Yeah, well, the band has been working for a couple of years, and I've joined the band 2 summers ago actually, and yeah, man, it's like this indie Americana kind of rock and roll band, just attention to details, just make you feel good kind of music, a bunch of gang vocals and stuff. So it's it's the fun stuff, man. The rehearsals are always super fun. Writing new song is always a good time too. It's always just there's just all meet up as a family in a jam space and just start writing some stuff, and it usually comes pretty easily too. Just cool vibe, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's precisely what I think people need right now. I mean, the news, the life, everything is so serious these days. Maybe we need some lighthearted fun.
Pretty much, man. It's one thing to before that whole COVID thing, everyone was I don't know for you, but for me it was this. I partied a lot because I was working a lot too, and now it's man, I haven't been in a bar in 6 months, and I'm I don't miss it. It's just I go get my fun time somewhere else. And it's one of them is music.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's interesting. I think there's so many people that picked up new habits in life, and I wonder how long these habits will stick after, as soon as the green light and life is back to normal. It's fuck all these projects, I want to just be back in the bar. But for right now, I think it's a good change of pace for a lot of people,
Yeah, dude, I was talking to some friends about that too. It's I wonder how everyone just the hand sanitizer thing. Everyone just wash their hands or are super clean about this. And I wonder, I hope, but I wonder if it's gonna stick after. In 2 years, 5 years, or whatever. We all went to this let's stay clean all the time. So I wonder if in 5 years everyone would still have little bottle of hand sanitizer in their backpack or whatever, and just every time they touch something oh no shit, I want to be clean, man.
Well, that's it. It's a really interesting topic because before COVID, we have a nurse at my work, okay? And she's always telling everybody that hand sanitizer is not really good. And washing your hands with soap and water is way better because the hand sanitizers also kill good bacteria, right? And I'm not growing up out in the country, I'm not a fan of being too clean as well. Yeah. Because I think
like you have kids need to get dirty growing up as well, and build themselves up. But now we're in a different time, and it's very real where hand sanitizer all of a sudden is super important, because you can't wash your hands with soap everywhere you go. But
Dude,
in general,
what was
I
that,
don't think that's a
like
great idea.
silly potty? Like man, so much silly patty, like silly putty,
Oh,
whatever.
yeah.
Sand I ate when I was a kid, like the raspberry one was the best. Like it's like, man, you need to get dirty a little bit when you're a kid, man, for sure.
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? Like, part of me, I used to always say, like, I think people are getting like overly clean, and then, things like allergies and stuff. But then I realized that I'm just talking bullshit, 'cause that's not totally true. Like, one thing when it comes to allergies, I was just talking to a friend of mine that is really suffering from allergies. And a lot of people, like, I remember when I grew up, you never heard of allergies that much, but everybody was always eating honey and local honey, because as soon as the bees would take from all the, flowers within your area, you would never have allergies to that stuff. Right.
Oh,
but, I mean,
shit.
Well, yeah, that's why bees are so important, right? Because they gather everything from your area, and then you ingest it, build up, resistance to all the bad things in your area as well. Yeah, but it's a super big problem. I mean, like, everybody's eating, we're getting more global, so we're always eating shit from other places, which is super fun if you like good food. But at the same time, there's really something to be said about eating within your, what comes from your area. And I think that does have an impact on health.
Yeah, it's like the air you breathe is also like, like it's your area. Like, obviously, like the air is different.
Hochelaga air.
No, it's
the
like,
air in Hochelaga is making you really healthy.
Hey, man. Dude, always coughing all the time.
Exactly. The only thing I'm getting antibodies to is crack cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know why, but I feel like Saint Catherine, like, I feel like prostitute today.
Right, exactly. It's all right, I'm immune now.
Yeah, exactly. Shit. God damn, man. Yeah, well, man, like you're saying, like, everything is just like, I think it's good to come back to like local food, not just for, the whole, like, not just the trend of like eat local, blah, blah, but just for the fact, like, you support, like, I prefer to support like the little, like fruit shop next to my place than like a Metro or IGA or, like this big chain that, or just gonna put in the dumpster when like it's expired or whatever. So like, just for like environment, like local finance, local economy or whatever, like, it's good to go local too, man.
Absolutely. There's so many positive things that come from it. And a big one, like, you touched on it there for a second, but like, for the environment, if everybody ate local, I'm not saying I want to do this or anything, but to be realistic, if people only ate local, well, then you're cutting immensely on the world shipping.
Oh, yeah,
right?
For sure.
And that has an incredible impact on the environment. I mean, anything that's, basically, I always say the biggest problems with the environment are really like anything that is the war machine of the world, because like war machines cause so much pollution. Yes, you could talk about farming and stuff like that, but everything, we buy things from all around the world. There's so many shipping ships, whether it's oil, whether it's products or whatever it is. But I mean, it's that whole idea that, and this is why they say now, like, rich people tend to leave a much larger carbon footprint because they're traveling in airplanes, they're flying all over, buying stuff from everywhere. But if you truly go local, if everybody went local, the positive side of that is that it would be incredible for the environment. The amount of reduction it would make is absolutely mind-blowing. But at the same time, we like cool shit from all over. So, I got one foot in both sides.
Dude, I do love my oranges in January, man.
Right, exactly. They definitely didn't grow in Montreal.
Yeah, fuck, man. But yeah, for sure. But at the same time, like, it's just, I guess, like, and that's the hardest thing to do. And like, it's probably impossible to do it, but it's try to find a balance. And it's like, but when you need to find a balance, you need to start telling people, like, you will cut on something, and then people don't like to be told, like, what to do, or like, hey, man, you won't have some strawberries in January, and they'll be like, well, I fucking love strawberries, bro. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
What am I gonna put on my pancakes?
Yeah, exactly. Fucking just whipped cream. What's up?
That's it. Shit. How have you been holding up throughout COVID, though? You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm doing good, actually, man. Like, it's been like, I think, like, on Saturday we talked a little bit about that, but
we were getting high on Saturday.
Yep. But yeah, man, it's good, man. Actually, like it's been like a 6 months or what, 7 months now, of basically like the first like month and a half ish. I was like practicing bass and like just like trying to focus on like practicing and because for me time is like a gold mine. I don't have time like to practice like practice what I want to like learn new skills or whatever, because like you come back, like you're the first one to know, like you come back from like just like 4 days shows, just like on the road for 4 days, and then like what do you want to do? Do you really want to take your guitar and start like learning new shit? You're like, it's like, man, I want my couch, I want my TV, and I want nothing. Like that's what I want. And then 2 days after it starts back, or 3 days after it starts back. So like I didn't like I didn't practice too much in the last year, like practice for fun, just like like some gigs, some whatever session work, whatever I had to practice, like I do enjoy that, but I did like the curiosity behind music really faded a little bit in the last couple of years. So for me, like the beginning of COVID was like perfect gold mine of time. It was just like, man, I have time like to do what I want. So like start practicing a fuck ton, like start practicing some stuff, learning like how to run like recording like programs and stuff like this. And then after like like the second month, I was like, well, all right, that's getting boring now. It's like, okay, cool. I kind of like learned what I wanted to learn. And like, so like, then the month after this, it kind of went like, oh man, it's fucking boring. And with Guidestones, like I start to like telling them like, hey man, I'm going to start doing some short videos. Like my brother does that for a living. So like, I kind of like, I saw how like good cuts were made and like how to like create, like kind of a like, just like a feeling out of like images and stuff like this. And I was like, I'm just going to make some like Instagram 20-second videos. That's it. And like my bandmate, the drummer, Zender, was like, hey man, like I saw in the drive that like the whole band has this, the drive of the band, like the Google one. And like, it's like, hey man, like one day I saw like 1 videos, and then like 2 days after it was like 7 videos. I was like, I'm getting fucking better at this. Like, so like it got super fun. And yeah, so like it's been like this, and then like learning some new stuff, like chilling. And then the summer came, and I don't know, man, it's just like feels good to have a break for once. Like Pissy has been good too. Like to be honest, like without Pissy, I would have probably had a different like conversation about those last 6 months. But
it's true what you're saying too. Like I think there was a big difference with COVID, because like the first 2 months versus now we're into like month 7. I find like everybody's kind of changed, through, because all the musicians I know are saying basically the same thing. Like at the start, it's like, oh man, I just got deep into it, but then you realize that being a great musician isn't just the skill and learning, but it's also the inspiration of what we do. And everybody, after 2 months of just hardcore focusing on that, but you lose where the inspiration is coming, because you're not out hanging out or whatever it is that gets you going, and I think there's a direct correlation in there somewhere. But then it's always riding that wave though. Something else comes along.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird too, like my roommate is a booker for a label, and she was like, basically the first couple of months was basically just like shoveling shit to put it like further, and then stepping on it like 2 months later, because no one had ideas. Like, all right, all the gigs are like it's like everything is like on hold or like booked for like in 2 months or whatever, and then 2 months after it's like, nope, you can have like everything is shut down. So it was just kind of like, I don't know, like just like this whole mess basically in the music industry, and like in every industry, but like for me, what I really actually see is like the music side of the music side basically. And yeah, man, it was rough, man, but yeah, everyone is in the same boat, man.
Well, that's it, but it feels good to bitch every once in a while, but then you do realize it, like, there's so many people that are having such a worse time at it. The musicians or really busy people, I do think that, they feel like it's a gold mine just to have some time to work on stuff, and maybe you'll come back around to practicing guitar or bass or whatever. But I mean, picking up a new skill. You did the video editing route, and it's cool. It is a good time to pick up some new skills. That's for sure. Yeah,
it's like, and it's also like, like session dudes or girls that, drummer, guitar player, whatever, that their job is basically always looking for the next gig, basically. Like, like I like I don't have like a 9 to 5 job or whatever. So like it's always like I'm lucky. Like there's an artist I'm playing with that is like has been touring a fuck ton. So like I didn't have to hustle that hard. Like it's good to have like time to time new gigs here and there, like something fresh or new. But like I didn't have to hustle too much in the last 3 years. But shit, man, before that was just like hustling all the time, looking for the next gig, the better gig, the gig that's paying more, the gig that you play less for more money. And then it just gets like fucking like, it gets like I was getting headaches about that shit, man. It was just like I don't know, just the way I was like in that vicious circle for so long. And now like the whole COVID arrived, and I think we like talked about it on Saturday a little bit, but like how like I stopped thinking about like making money and like need to be better, need to be seen more, need to like blah, 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 you know, that whole like thing, like, you want to be better and faster, and you know
everything
like,
is better and bigger, right?
yeah, exactly. Like you want to be like the guy that people call or whatever, and like so hard work comes with money. And then like I would like not say no, but I would not like think about some ideas for bands just to play for free, because I'm like, hey man, like I'm not gonna go play for you on a Saturday night when I can make like $400 the next, you know, that same night. Like sorry, you got that cat asshole.
Who's your friend there?
Dude, it's Duneshka.
Right on. What a cutie.
Yeah, my girlfriend's cat, and the fucking sick cat.
Right on. But it is cool what you're saying. Like, you know, that whole effect of, I think it's kind of a whole for musician, and I understand it though, because like the hustle involved is a real thing. You know what I mean? But it takes so much away from, like, you know, maybe when you're young, you just want to play music or whatever, you know what I mean? But you don't think, fuck, 80% of the time is just hustling.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, so like just the fact that like the whole like the world went on break basically, like for me really like, so like I don't know, like I kind of like relived what I loved about music, like mainly, you know, like I used to love like once in a while just like, yeah, like I know I'm at the right place, like I love what I'm doing, I'll keep doing it, you know, like try to put the energy at the good place all the time and not try to waste time. But the whole COVID thing like really made it like gave a break to everyone. And I was like, hey man, I saw this like a couple of weeks ago, I saw this like kick-ass like mix of like Asian band like with like carnival kind of vibe. It was fucking good, man. And like I looked at them, and they were playing like on like outside show. They had like keyboard player. They had like this kick-ass girl on keyboard, kick-ass girl on guitar, and no bass player. It was just like tracks. And I was like, hey dude, like you don't have any bass player? It's like, yeah, no, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah man, take my number, blah blah. And it's like, yeah, but you know, like I don't pay. I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit, man. Like and just like that feeling of like go back to the roots of like, hey man, like you like we're all doing this because we love it. We're all doing this because like it makes us feel good, and we can actually see like a direct like a direct like energy in the crowd when you play, people fucking smiling, dancing and shit. Like that's why I do it. I don't do it for the fame. I'm a bass player, goddamn. I don't do it for the fame.
That's right. You would have played guitar if you went for the fame.
Dude, like so many people is like, oh man, I love your guitar. It's like, yeah, thanks. Like it doesn't hurt anymore.
That's funny.
So yeah, man. Like so it's just like, you know, you do it like it comes back to the roots of like you do it because you fucking love it, man, and like you make people happy, you make people dance, and man, that's the whole fucking thing, man. That's the reason why I'm doing it. And so yeah, like long story. But yeah, that's like,
but I find like what you're saying is such a real thing. And I mean, people know it. Let's say like if you go see a player, but like it's more like, you know, a solo act, and then you have the backing band type thing.
Yeah.
You know that like you can tell that they're sitting there in the back playing the music that they're supposed to play.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? But as somebody in the audience, I think people know that, as opposed to like you get, you know, 4 guys young, they might not even have as much skill, but they put 100% into those 2 chords, you know,
Yeah,
and you can feel
yeah,
that energy. But I mean, that really kind of shows like, you know, people are doing what they want to do, you know, as opposed to it's a job. And I think it's very obvious, and it doesn't mean one thing is better than the other or anything like that. It is what it is, I mean, when you play behind a star, you're really there to just back up the star,
exactly.
and make his life easy
Yeah,
or her life or their life.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it's weird. Like the way you see it too, man. Is like when I play with Guidestones, like I fucking love playing with those guys and girls. Like there's a girl in the band, and like everyone rips. Everyone is having fun. Like there's not one show that we like get out of stage and we're like, hey man, yeah, you missed that fucking pass, and you missed that field, whatever. Like everyone is like, don't give a shit. Means like we had a great time. Like at a certain level, everyone is good. Like there's no more like, hey man, you need to learn the songs. Like, man, we're there, we're doing it seriously. Like we're having a good time, and like there's this vibe, but then there's also like when you decide to be like a session guy, like or like. There's some gigs that it's basically work. You punch in, you do your shift, and then you punch out, man. Like, it's not the greatest shift. Like, man, I had some shitty gigs, man, paid for, like, shitty money. That's always add extra time, extra songs. But
I'm like, okay, let's make a list of all the shitty gigs you had. Put all their names out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I hold you ransom when you realize you should have done that after. That's the moral of this show.
just beep everyone. No, just kidding. But like there's some gigs that like it's like I'm not like a big fan of like corpo gigs basically in life, but you have to do it. And like I always surprise myself like enjoying it on stage, but I fucking hate it like when I'm practicing at home because I'm not in that kind of like circuit. So I don't know all those like top 40 songs by heart, whatever. Like I kind of like know them, but I don't like know them by heart. And I'm like, yeah, cool. Don't need to check any charts. Like go on a gig. That's it. So like, I don't like practicing for them, but then I arrive at the gig and I'm like, you know what, man? That song, Call Me Baby. Fuck yeah, man.
I don't think I can even name one top 40 band right now. I really don't think I can.
Dude, like I was practicing for a gig this winter and it was like, why? Like, is there people listening to these songs? And then like you arrive on stage like a month out, like a couple of weeks after, and you're like, oh shit, there's actually people like dancing on. Oh fuck, I don't listen to radio, man.
No, well that's it. But I wonder, like, I would love to see, and I'm sure it's available, but like just a kind of a rating scale of how many people are listening to radio today as opposed to 20 years ago. It must be way less.
Shit, man, especially in Quebec.
Radio here is not good. When you go to other places, you realize that it's better. It's really surprising.
Oh man, like just like I mean, it's a big different step. But like arriving in LA and like put the radio, and it's basically just like GTA radio, and you're like, shit, man, like there's a channel for everything. You want some rock, you want some Latin, you want some hip hop, like there's a channel for everything, man. And I don't get it, like why. I mean, I saw some interviews with like the owner of Bell, like Bell Media and stuff, being like, yeah, but it wouldn't sell. But it's like, yeah, for sure it wouldn't sell because you're not like putting stuff out there. Like you're just putting the same songs over and over again. And I don't know, man.
It's fucked up.
But
Montreal is such a large city. Like I was surprised, like if you take North America, all of North America, I mean Mexico, the States, and Canada, Montreal is considered a huge city. It's way bigger than I thought. Like it's bigger than almost every American city. There's only, I think, two that are bigger than Montreal. But yet we have so little radio. I mean, we have a couple of the mainstreams on the English side. You have Shown, or you get into like, the other things. There's some French radio, but it all sounds the exact same to me.
Yep.
And then you have a couple of college stations. They're basically two main ones. You have the CSM and CSM. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's not a lot of radio.
No, not at all. And like when you think about it, like I don't know, like if they're getting paid well or if it's like like free time that like the people like on university radios. I don't know if they're getting paid or not. But man, their shows are way more fun. Like absolutely. I do enjoy listening to CSM or CBL or what's the other one? CKUT. That's more like hip hop, reggae, like bunch of.
But they have all
shit,
kinds
man.
of shows. My only problem with a lot of the college shows is sometimes because like everybody comes in with the idea of what their show wants to be, and some of them are pretty spaced out. You know, it sounds like a bunch of bicycle tires and dings in the background. But the only thing that they seem to have a problem with is the right time slots. Like I was driving to work and it's kind of flipping through channels, and then I hear this weird space, ding bong, but it's like 8 a.m. I'm like, that's the wrong time slot for that. You know?
Dude, it was like 2 a.m. I was coming back home and I was in my car, and dude, it was like prog metal, like mumble rap, experimental shit. I was like, man, I'm having a bad trip here. Like this is like, who the fuck decided that was a good song for that time? Like, oh shit. But at the same time, like it's like it gives them like charm at the same time. It's like that channel CKUT. Like I think like the second time I listened to it, like first time like it went by accident on the radio, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a Marvin Gaye. I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Like what is that channel? And then start listening to it for a while, and then the second time I'm listening to it, it's like I was going to work back in the days, like it was like 7 a.m. or something, and then the guy on the radio just spoke like, so guy, like the guy was super fucking tired, and then we just have to like
either that or baked. I got baked in the CKUT room so many times.
Oh man, dude! But like a second after, the guy's like mumbling something. You just hear the door opening, like creak. Oh my god, man! Fuck! I'm so sorry. Fucking early in the morning. Blah, blah. So we're on air. Oh fuck, we're on air. All right. What's up, guys? Super casual. I'm like, I fucking love that channel, man. This is a good radio station.
Yeah, absolutely. CKUT is really good because historically they helped out so many bands and the local music scene as well. They did this co-sponsorship program for a long time. And I don't know if they still do it, but like I remember they co-sponsored all kinds of shows that we did, and they had the ska and reggae shows, and they would have local artists on all the time. And they had Brave New Waves. Agatha DeSantis was in charge of that. She was there for years and years and years. But like, I remember they've helped us out so many times, and fun to hang out with too. And we always snuck all kinds of stuff into there at the same time, and would hang out for longer than we were welcome.
Exactly. You're supposed to go there for 30 minutes. It's like 2 a.m. You're like, how did we get there?
Exactly. But no, I love CKUT. Thanks. If anybody from CKUT is listening, man, props and keep it up, right?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, man.
It's the only like good kind of radio that we have. It's the one that are not mainstream, and it sounds so like, it sounds cliche to say that, but it's like I've discovered way more good music on university or like independent radio that like every like 6th month they need to find some more money or whatever to stay alive than like mainstream thing, except Shom. Sometimes they like Shom is good too, but there's so many like radio like channels that I'm like, man, it's you only pass things that is like has been made up for like 40 years, and it's, I don't know, man. It's I shouldn't be bitching about it, but
But how do you listen to your music? Like everybody kind of has a different thing. In general, like when you're like, oh, I want to listen to some music, what do you put on first?
Shit, man.
I don't mean like a band. I mean like as a record player, CD, Spotify, Apple Music. Like how do you listen to music?
Now it's more like Spotify and vinyls, basically.
Yeah.
And man, I was with Apple Music for a while, and I know it. I switched to Spotify like a month ago, and holy shit, Apple Music is bad, man. Like it's like I'm on Spotify and I'm like, this is so much easier. There's so much more stuff. There's like and like, okay, like let's be honest, like no artist like over like over level makes a fuck ton of money out of Spotify for sure.
I just posted a thing on the internet about 2 hours ago all about Spotify, and and I hate the fucking guy that runs that company.
Dude, he was asking for more money. It's just like, shut the fuck up.
he's made literally, I think it was $2 point something billion, and he's not paying out the artists. and there's something fucked up about that. But that's a whole big discussion in itself, you know what I mean? But as far as a user, like, goes, is what the angle we're talking about here. You like Spotify more than Apple Music.
Yeah, the way it's made, like Spotify is more like friendly user kind of. The podcasts are like, everything is made like in the better way than Apple Music. So I discovered like Spotify last month, and I'm like, dude, this shit is cool. Like, I've just been listening to like comedy shows, like you're in your car, you're stuck in traffic, and like comedy show, like, oh man, it's been an hour, I'm home, like, just sick. But yeah, so like, I don't know, like the way I listen to some music now is more like Spotify and vinyls, basically.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's like nobody mentions CDs anymore.
Yeah, dude, it's so weird that like with like bands you need to make CDs, but you kind of know it's like throwing money in the garbage.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like,
well, I mean, like these days, like right behind me, there's a record player right there. Like I find people that want to, collect music. It's not, vinyl is a good size, good feel, good sound. It's interactive. You listen to an album as instead of a song, because that's one thing that I find has really shifted people when they got into CDs or downloading music, Apple Music or Spotify or whatever whatever they're using. We got away from albums a bit and more into songs, because it's like one song to another band to another song. But I've always been a fan of put on an album, and side B of this album is fucking golden, and that kind of thing.
Oh, dude, I'm a big fan of that too. Like, I do enjoy like being able to find a song fast, like
oh yeah, for sure.
It ain't no cassettes, all right?
Yeah. On a pencil to rewind it.
It's like shit,
I used to do that all the time, man.
Yeah, exactly.
The same battery on your Walkman.
Oh man, yeah, exactly. Yeah, like it was like Aunt Chuck or whatever, like for like 5 seconds.
Exactly. Yeah.
Take it for 5 seconds. but yeah, like I feel like CDs is like, I don't know, like no one listen, not no one, but like less more people are listening to like whole albums, and I think it's all the whole like Napster, LimeWire, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever. It's just it's like fast food, man. It's like fast consumption of a song, and
shitty like, sound quality.
Yeah, pretty much too, and it made it like, I don't know how it made it there, but it just made it like, this is a quality that like no one with like a sound engineer degree or no one with like in that kind of industry will know that it sounds like it could sound better, but whatever. Like,
well, that's it. All the audio files are like, fuck digital music.
Pretty much, man. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Like I do love to listen to whole albums. I do love like let's say like I'm at the gym, like I like to put like a whole fucking album and be like, all right, this is a great workout like album or whatever. And yeah, sometimes I just love to put like stupid ass songs, but that's it, man.
Yeah, man. For sure, it was cool. The other day, I have a vinyl here. I got the fucking Pink Floyd The Wall on, and I haven't done that in years. I listened to the whole thing on vinyl. It was a great trip, And or the other thing that I love about vinyl. Here's a good example. Check this out. Iron Maiden's first vinyl. Can you see it there?
Yeah.
So you open it up too, because it's double, and you kind of trip out in the pictures while you're listening to the music.
Yeah.
I miss that too, like the artwork, because like, look, there's so much shit in there.
Yeah, and like
the lyrics are printed on it.
Yeah, that huge like thing inside with like pamphlet with like all the pictures and shit. Like, it was sick. Like, and
well, exactly, and the whole concept of music and art going together. I mean, we're losing that in the digital age. Like sometimes I'm like, why do people even bother making record art if it's going right on to Spotify where you can't see it anyway? It always annoyed me that the Spotify and Apple Music, you can't click on the album and at least like have it and turn the page while you're listening to something.
But man, there's been like a huge shift in the last like 60 years, 70 years. Like back in the days, man, people were making albums like like to go on tour. Like, you know, like you sell your album, you go on tour because you wanted to sell your album. Like that's how you made money. You sell your album. So like, fuck, we need to go on tour, sell all the fucking album, make some money. Now it's the total opposite. Now people make album so they can sell their tour, because like you tour for 2 years with an album, like your tour is done. Like that's it. So yeah, and like it's been like this major shift, and like, man, it's like it seems like it's the only industry that didn't evolve. Like all the cool kids like in the 70s that are like started working for labels and like discovered like, you know, all those like Frank Zappa, Led Zeppelin, whatever, like all the bands like they were all young and like didn't care, like just let's go find some new shit, man. And it seems like those people got old, and now they're in a position where it's like, no, let's just put all the same shit that we've been putting over and over again, man. Let's not change anything. It's like, man,
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Now, here's a whole other perspective on that, because you mentioned Frank Zappa. Back in the 70s, Frank Zappa did an interview, and he said exactly the opposite of what you just said. And a lot of people, including me, I've said exactly what you said. Now, I listened to it the other day, and what Frank Zappa said was in the late 60s, sorry, you know, there was all kinds of creative music that came out and weird shit, you know, like including Frank Zappa or Captain Beefheart or all this really cool shit, you know. And what he said was really cool is that, you know, this is before they had A&R guys. They would have some businessman, old man smoking a cigar in charge of the record label. But what was cool is he didn't know anything about music. So people would come with these ideas and he'd be like, I don't know, let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
You know, so that was one of the reasons that so much creative music came out. But then all of a sudden he got older and kind of, you know, got bored and said, oh, maybe I'll get some young hipsters to go out there and tell me what is good, what the people want to hear. But what that caused was exactly the opposite effect than what people wanted, because they all went out there and said, this is what's hip, this is what people are listening to, so we should sign them. So all of a sudden you got young people out there telling the record labels, you know, what was good and what wasn't, and they actually became less creative instead of more creative because of that. Isn't that a crazy concept? You know, it was better working with somebody that knew nothing about music that would take a chance on stuff.
Yeah. That's fucking weird, man.
Yeah, exactly. When I saw that,
man.
It's
been fucked for a long
switched. That's it. But you know what I mean? It really switched, because I was saying the exact same thing you just said. But then I heard Frank's, and I always figure life would be better for everybody in the entire world if they listened to what Frank Zappa said in general. You know what I mean? So it kind of switched me. So now I'm like, fuck it, hard guys.
Oh man, yeah. Man, this guy was on another level, and like saw some shit that no one wanted to see, and like, you know, like I don't know, like we need more artists like him. Yeah. But at the same time,
did you ever read his book?
I'm saying this, but like it's like those double-edged swords. No, I've never. Yeah, no, I've never read his book.
He has a book. I have a copy here. I'll lend it to you. It's absolutely, I have the Bible to life, man. It's funny, easy to read, super smart. His points of view. I've read, like, I've always been a Frank Zappa fan, but I mean, you know, he put out so much stuff that, you know, you can't listen to everything, you know what I mean? And there's so many different styles. Like, you can love one album and hate another with Frank Zappa, but I love that because that's the mark of a true artist, you know? But that book that he wrote is probably one of my favorite books in the entire world. It's that good. It's fucking amazing. I recommend it to anybody. What's your favorite Zappa album?
Oh shit, man! I don't know. I've never been like a huge fan of Frank Zappa. Like, I know a fuck ton of like songs, but I've never listened. I don't think I've ever listened to a whole album back to back from Frank Zappa. And
it's worth it, bro.
Don't hang up on me for this.
That's it, man. You have to stand in the corner with gum on your nose with a dunce hat on.
Yeah, exactly. Go spend like 20 minutes in the corner, dude.
With Frank Zappa.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, go get your education, boy.
Yeah, but man, like all my friends laughed at me because of this. Like, I've grew up in a family that wasn't too musical, so like. Fuck, man. My dad was listening to a lot of like classical music, and my mom, I think, have the same like 10 albums like for the last like 30 years. Like, I'm joking, but you know, like it's never been like a huge family of like musical influence and stuff. So like, and I grew up in the West Island too, of Montreal. So like I grew up in like the English side of it too. So like for me as a French dude, like the first, like I knew like 2 bands my whole like, you know, childhood of like Quebecois bands or whatever. And so like I've never like went and discovered a fuck ton of music when I was a kid. And I think I started CJEP and oh no, it was later than that. I was like maybe like 21 or 22. And like I started playing in the band and the drummer is like, oh man, it's like can you play that like, you know, like Led Zepp kind of vibe on bass? And I'm like, I've never listened to Led Zepp in my life. And everyone looked at me like I'm fucking alien. And I'm like, yeah, maybe should have went and listened to this. But I was like, I don't know. I was stuck on like NoFX and, you know, like Mad Caddies and shit like this when I was younger. And then I went to study in jazz. So like I never had like that. I had like punk rock, ska, and then it went to like jazz punk because I went to study in that field. So it was never like I've never went in like that 60s 70s kind of rock and roll kind of vibe, you know, like as a kid should go.
But it's funny because everybody does, but that's an effective radio, right? And stuff like that. It's like everybody has the idea that we should all be listening to the same things. Like, oh my god, how do you not know that? But really, that's only because that's the stuff on radio that everybody heard. That's the only way they went to their shows or got their albums or got into it, you know, especially like historically. But I mean, it's such a funny effect, you know. It's funny, we were talking, and I have a couple of Zappa albums, but if anybody sees this album cover anywhere, pick it up. You will love it. It has Dynamo Hum on it, which is one of the coolest songs in the entire world. It's all about a bet to make this girl come, and she has her sister beside her who's a little bit dumb. And it's just absolutely amazing. But I also like Hot Rats and Weasels Rip My Flesh as well as it.
Yo, that cover looked like a Dali painting, man.
I know, man. I love that. See, like I'm all about poster art and record art. You know what I mean? Like it's probably one of my favorite art forms in the world, and that's why you know, one of the reasons why I love vinyl, like I was saying before, I love putting it on at the start of the record, listening to a whole side. It's 25 minutes usually, you know, and but I love it, man.
Yeah, man, like vinyls are like a ritual, man. It's like you put it, you fucking, you know, clean it, drop the needle on it, and then you're like, you know, if you put a vinyl, you won't just put it there and like leave and just do something else. Like just stay next to the fucking speaker and do some home cleaning or whatever, like you're cooking. Like it's a fucking ritual, man. Like
absolutely. I got a sofa that's right there, and right behind me is the stereo, and I'll sit on that sofa with a bong, man, and I try to listen to a side of a vinyl every night. You know, it's kind of part of my little routine. I don't always get to, but a good day, you know, I get to do that. Like yesterday, I listened to Dead Kennedys on vinyl. It was fucking wicked. I forgot how good it was.
Dude, I forgot. I forgot about Dead Kennedys. Like this is how long I've
go back to it. Dude, man, that song Police Truck, it was wicked. I forgot how good it was. It was amazing. California Uberales or Holiday in Cambodia or whatever.
Yeah.
Man. I fucking love them.
Man, like there's one album like I've listened from like beginning to end, and I was like, I cannot stop listening to it. Like I cannot stop now. Like I need to keep going with that fucking album. Is that Quebecois band Bleu Jeans Bleu, who had their Coton Watté single out?
I don't know that.
Like, oh, dude, man, like it's like all-star fucking band playing, like they're just fucking monstrous on their fucking instrument, but it's like it's like mixed with humor a little bit and shit. It's fucking good, man. And like the last song of the album, like it goes in a fade out with like that huge fucking orchestra thing, like fucking violins, trumpet, like, you know, French horn and shit. Like it's fucking massive, man. And then goes in fade out. And then it fades out, it fades out, it fades out. And then it went to silence. And then it goes like 5 seconds. And then he comes back and fade in. And just man. Like, man, they are fucking ridiculous, man. And
isn't that the old Beatles trick? Didn't the Beatles do that? We're one of the first ones to do that.
Did they?
I think so. I'd have to go back. If anybody out there... man, I don't know. Do you know what's funny? Like, you know how I like to separate the world in two and basically either like the Beatles or the Rolling Stones? I've always been more Rolling Stones, you know what I mean?
I feel you. Like I always been more Beatles, but that's because of like the childhood I had too, man. Like it
Mm-hmm.
was more like Beatles. My dad maybe discovered the Beatles when I was younger and shit. Like that was like Beatles, Michael Jackson was like the two like the two thing my dad like, and like maybe some couple of other bands, but it was like it never been like a huge guy of music. So yeah, like I started with the Beatles, but man, I think it was like 10 years ago, maybe more than that. I was playing Call of Duty, and there was one song from the Beatles, one song from Rolling Stone, and I'm like, fuck, man, I've never listened to like all the albums of Rolling Stones, man. So like I went
Yeah.
and listened to it, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, that's fucking good.
Yeah, it surprised me too. I have a bunch of vinyls behind here of the Stones and stuff, and I rediscovered them as well. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
heard it as a kid, and then I didn't listen to them for like 15 years, unless the radio's on and it's on. Of course, you hear the classic.
Yeah.
But you listen to some of those old albums, amazing, so
Oh, man.
fucking good, man.
Dude, there was like I usually don't like movie that are like musicals, like you know,
Yeah.
like those like all singing, dancing, blah blah. Like I'm not a huge fan of this, and but there was one movie, and that's one of my favorite movie of all time. Is the movie Across the Universe. That is,
Oh yeah.
man, it's like it's like the whole like history of the Beatles throughout like some characters. And man,
I had no idea, because an ex-girlfriend told me that I should watch this movie and gave me it on DVD. But then we broke up, and I never got around to it. But now I never wanted to play it because we broke up, so I never actually watched it. But I do have it on DVD.
Oh, but dude, like tonight, like smoke some weed, smoke more weed. I mean,
Right.
And like, man, listen to it. It's like, I mean, watch it. It's fucking good, man. Like the whole, there's so many like beautiful images. The arrangements are good. Like the singers are good too. Like it's, I don't know, man. I was younger. I was younger when I listened to it. I was maybe like 16 years old, something like this. So like, and I fucking loved it. So like in my head, it's fucking legendary, like, like movie. I don't know if I watch it again, if like I would say the same thing, but I remember it was like so fucking good, and I've watched it maybe like 10 times, and I was like, man, it's still fucking good. It's still relevant, and it's light, but the arrangements is like, I wasn't watching it for like the acting or whatever. It was really just like musical arrangement, what they did with the music, and I was like, fuck, man, like those guys are good. Like they're really fucking good.
It's funny you say that about musicals, but then I Rock and Roll High School by the Ramones. That's basically a musical as well, but it it's not really, I guess, because it had a story through it. But what are some of the best musicals that ever? My daughter she loves Hamilton and thinks it's. Okay. Have you heard the Hamilton?
No, never.
You've heard of it though, right?
Yeah. I've heard shit about it, but like I've never been around.
I listened to it with her. It's absolutely amazing. It's an entire musical. Basically, that one's a play, right? And it's all rap, but it's like a United States history in a certain moment in time, and they're acting out history through rap. And it's fucking incredible. I was really blown away with it. What are some of your favorites?
Man, there was one I saw a long time ago, but that was like theater, like musical. I saw Generation Motown Generation, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I don't know that one.
Dude, it made me fall in love with like Motown. Like I was younger too, and oh shit, that was fucking good. It just like goes back with like Marvin Gaye, the Supremes, fucking like the Temptation, like just like everyone in the Motown area, and it was like a theater show, so like it was fucking good, and like the like full band that was there, like the whole like anyway, it was fucking sick, man.
It's funny you're saying this now. I'm trying to think to myself. I'm like, movies that are considered musicals. Okay, like what are some of the best? One that comes to mind right away: the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Right?
Well, how did I not think about that? Yeah.
what other ones were like amazing? I'm thinking Rock and Roll High School, the Blues Brothers, the Who, Tommy.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, that's worth it. It's really worth it. Yeah. Or maybe I know more than I realize. There's one called Hair that is amazing too. It's all about somebody becoming a singer and a hippie instead of going to Vietnam. That's a classic one.
I don't know any like Yeah, me either. I don't know that many musicals. Like shit. No, I don't. I'm really trying to think like I saw a couple of like theater show musical and stuff, but like I don't know, like it needs to be done so well that like for me to enjoy it. And I really hate when it's like, okay, well, this is it, and then the song starts, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's forced. Like, I don't like this. Like,
Yeah. I wonder what the line is, because like I'm kind of with you. I don't normally like, except for Hamilton, I don't normally like full on musicals. I like movies that have a musical. Like I'm thinking like Grease, you know, to use as an example. It's still a movie, but with musical sections.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's 100% just musical, that's where I find it usually ends up getting pretty damn tacky, you know?
Well, yeah, that's why, and like I think that's why like the movie Across the Universe for me like didn't feel like it was tacky. It just like it just feels like there's music the whole time, but it's the Beatles, so it's fucking good. So and like yeah, so like that's why like I never felt like it was like tacky. Like I mean, there's some cheesy plays, like, you know, there's like love story, blah blah blah, like, and like it could be cheesy, but it was not tacky. And like that's what I liked about this one, because all the other one that I've watched, man, I was like, nope. It's like, dude, like I'm a big fan of Johnny Depp, and like I started Sweeney Todd, and it was like, nope, not for me. Like
I know, man. Dude, I'm still with you. My daughter, my lady, put that on, and I tried. I was trying to be a good sport, you know. I like that one song with her meat pies that kill people and stuff like that. But after that, I was like, I can't do an hour.
It's like, you know, one
song.
This is. Yeah.
Well, I can't retain that much music at once anyway, because, you know, I'm the type of guy with music. So I hate music as background noise. You know, like a lot of people, like even sometimes driving, like if you're having conversations, I want the music off. You know, if you're actually listening, because I'm like that. Like I focus on it. You know how a lot of people just put a background music. But it's
I'm not able to do that.
I can't talk to you if there's background music, because I'm going to be listening to music, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man, like even with television, like my girlfriend and I were like watching TV, and then you start talking, and like something about her day or whatever, and like she has a remote in her hand, and she's not like pressing pause, and I'm like, press pause, like
it's like you're interested in me, baby. I want to listen to you, but press pause.
Like I can't, you know, I can't. But yeah, same thing with music, man. Like for me, it's like off or on. Like if someone talks, it's like it's off, and like I know there's been so many memes about that kind of shit, man. But like when you tell your friend in your car, like, oh, dude, man, listen to that song, it's fucking good, and then the second after they start talking, you're like,
yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it back, like, and then we'll start again.
Exactly. At that point, it's like, fuck you and your song.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You want to walk?
Exactly. Man.
Yeah, man.
So what's going on with, like, you're playing bass now with Guidestones and Emile Bilodeau, right?
Yeah.
What's going on with shows? Have you guys done any of these shows where it's like socially distanced or whatever? Because I said no to shows because I don't know, it's not jacking me up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, with Emile. With Emile. Oh shit, man. Like, I think, like, man, we do a fuck ton of gigs with Emile, like, per year, man. And like this summer was supposed to be extremely busy, and like he has been busy, but like in duo, and like he tried super hard to, like, you know, stay there, like, you know, like his face is still there, his music is still out there, whatever. So like he was doing like a lot of like pickups, like plays in a pickup, like in parks with the piano, like the keyboard player of the band, and like concept was cool, but at the same time it's super hard, and like mentally also. And so like he was doing this the whole summer, and then towards the end of the summer, like we had one full gig with the guys, the couple from the mixed bus, like Jacob and Isa, have like this fucking amazing idea, man, that like they used to like live, I mean they still live in their bus, but they had like a bus with like studio inside of it, and like every festival, like that was the place to go, man. And like at night, like, you know, you want to fucking, you know, party, hang out, or whatever. You know, hang out. I don't need to say But yeah, so like that was the place, and like during the COVID, like they bought a new bus, and then they made a full stage on the top of the bus. And man, it's fucking well made, man. The whole bus is like pink and orange and shit. Like you cannot miss that bus, man. And like
I like the concept of a stage on the roof of it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and like the whole like inside is like powered by like solar power, and then like the stage is like generatrice, because they need they need to make sure like there's no like outbreak of energy.
Right.
But yeah, so like we did a gig with Emile with them, and it was in Shawinigan. We were like on top of the bus, and like man, like it was like hosted by Trou du Diable, and it was fucking sick, man. Like it felt good to play a show. It felt good to be in front of public, but man, it looked like a bingo like crowd. It was like everyone had like a table for 2 person, and it was like rows of tables of 2, and it's like
it's not very rock and roll, eh?
Nope. Yeah, and it's like put your mask if you're going like at the bar, get some stuff, and it was outside on the side of the water. It was fucking beautiful, and like the whole sound check, I was like, oh man, like what are gonna go like B51, and like I was like, don't fucking anyway, like it feels good to finally play a gig, but I was like not too stoked about it. The whole day I was kind of like, keep it to myself, just like not being stoked about that gig. And then we started the gig, and man, the face of everyone, like smiling, fucking like stoked to see like energy live, like see some music. I was like, all right, cool. I take back everything I said. Like
nice.
Like, it was like, yeah, it's cool, man. Like to do a full loop, man. Like at the beginning of the conversation, like this is what we do it, man. Like this is why we do it. This is what we love to do. It's like you do it for the energy. You do it to make people happy. Like if you play music for yourself, man, get the fuck out. You're in the wrong business. Like,
well, that's it. Eh? So man, what's next for you? What's coming up?
Well, now we're like booking. We're working on the show with.
Wait, is this okay with Guidestones? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, in 2 weeks, I'm playing with Emile. I think we're playing on the 1st and the 3rd of October, and near Montreal. But yeah, like full band. Like I think it will be inside a venue, so that's cool. And so yeah, this with Emile, the future with Emile, like. Playing full band, like all the dates are like on hold or like postponed or whatever, so there's nothing like fully fully convincing. but whatever. And with Guidestone for now, we're working to book a gig. Actually, we just need to finalize the date. It's probably going to be towards the end of October, but in the old planetarium of Montreal.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, we did a live there, and it sounded fucking sick, man. The reverb was fucking dope. Like everything was sick. Like there's some weird effects too with the reverb because it's a huge dome in concrete. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna say any names, but we're still like working out the details. But yeah, we're gonna have like full on like we want to have like visual on the dome while we play like a 30-minute set. Just us. That's it.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, man. And yeah, so like that's what we're aiming at, and we have like a bunch of new songs too. So we're kind of like we're releasing like 1 song per month, and then like the last song we released last month like got like super good like a super good like reaction from the people. So like we kept it for 2 months, and then next month we're releasing a new single, and then do a little gig, and probably towards like the winter we're gonna do a album release with the band, and yeah, try to see what's gonna happen from there, man. There's like everything is up in the air. No one knows what's happening. So
well, that's it, eh?
Yeah,
it's fucked up. Like I on one of the other shows there, we were talking about how booking for the future is really hard. Everybody keeps booking, canceling, and booking again. And then some people are like, but why are you booking? But there is a reason for that too. It's because as soon as the green light goes, every single band in the entire world is going to want to book the same week.
Exactly. So no, you need some old somewhere, man.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Dizzy, it's fucking great talking to you, my brother.
Dude,
and
man.
listen, we'll do it again, man. I would love to do this again. I'll pre-roll some more spliffs next time, you know.
Dude, perfect, man. Let's do it. Let's hope we can do it face to face, man.
You got it, brother. Much love. All right. You
Take care,
hope
man.
you and all
Nice
your
to
people
see
are
you,
good.
man.
Talk to you good.
Take
Peace,
care, brother.
Boom. Came and don't know shit.